Hello and welcome to UTV Live. The funerals of two young men who died tragically in separate incidents over Christmas took place today. 23-year-old Callum McVeigh, a young footballer, died in an accident involving a forklift on Christmas Eve. County Tyrone farmer Padraig MacDonald passed away following a road crash near Cookstown on Boxing Day. Rory O'Regan reports.
A family and community coming together to say goodbye. Callum McVeigh died in an accident involving a forklift in Newton Ards on Christmas Eve. Today, he was laid to rest in County Down.
Callum had a kind heart, caring nature, and he always saw the best in people. He had time for everyone. He was always interested in others and had time for a chat. He loved life, and he had lived it to the full, always on the go, planning his next adventure. Whatever you asked Callum to do was never too much trouble, and he always went above and beyond to help.
The 23-year-old played as a left-back with Killalay Youth Club. Before that, he played for teams including Knockbreda, Portadown Ards and Linfield Swifts. A minute's silence was held in his memory before Linfield's match against Glentoran on Boxing Day, a game he was meant to be at. He won the Steel and Sons Cup in 2019 with Linfield Swifts, alongside future Northern Ireland players Trey Hume and Dale Taylor. He was a huge fan of the Green and White Army and travelled to watch them with his dad and brother.
But back in the year 2016, Marcus, Callum and Ethan journeyed with good friends Noel and Matthew and Joel Willis to France to watch Northern Ireland play the Euros. They spent 2 weeks travelling to every game and even visiting the Somme as part of their journey. This was a once-in-a-lifetime trip and the boys had a real ball.
Just a few hours before, the funeral of 20-year-old Padraig MacDonald took place in Lochmagrory. He died in a car crash near Cookstown on Boxing Day.
Early on Saturday morning, I sat for quite a while with Paddy and Kerry in their home, and they spoke at length about Padraig and the exceptional son and the fine young man that he was. We talked about a visit that I had to their home last Monday evening. The family were all gathered around the kitchen table together having their dinner. There was plenty of banter and plenty of fun, and it's one of the countless memories that will be cherished and cherished greatly for time to come.
Padraig was heavily involved with Lochmagrory GAA all his life, first as a player and then as a volunteer. Mourners wore the club's gear as the coffin made its final journey.
And like so many others, he was delighted to see the senior team reach the pinnacle of Tyrone football and win the O'Neill Cup a few weeks ago. And he joined in the celebrations with the club and with the wider community. And he played a big part in the build-up to the final, in helping to put up the flags and the bunting, and he even painted a few of his own sheep black and amber.
Two communities remembering two young men who made a real and lasting impact. Rory O'Regan, UTV Live.
The police are no longer looking for anyone in connection with a double stabbing in Bangor on Christmas Eve. It comes as they confirm the body of a man found in the town on Saturday was 54-year-old Jonathan Baker. A man armed with a knife and a hammer entered a house on Chippendale Avenue. A man in his 20s and a woman aged in her 50s both received serious injuries and have since been discharged following hospital treatment. Two people have escaped injury following an arson attack in North Belfast. A brick was thrown through the window of a house in Lowood Park before the front door was set on fire at around 8:15 last night. A man in his 50s has been charged with a number of offences in connection with the report of an assault on a woman in Londonderry on Saturday. He's accused of assault occasioning actual bodily harm, possession of an offensive weapon, wounding with intent to do grievous bodily harm and common assault. A specially designed children's ambulance is transforming how young patients in Northern Ireland travel for life-saving cardiac care, bringing children to and from Dublin and at this time of year closer to home. Since it came into service in 2023, it's already made hundreds of vital journeys with the support of the Children's Heartbeat Trust. Family says it eases anxiety at some of their most stressful times. Katie Andrews reports.
It shines like a spacecraft on wheels, and for 5-year-old Reuben Kirkpatrick, that's exactly what it feels like. It's what carried him to the specialist care he needed. Reuben was born with a heart defect. He's travelled in the ambulance between Dublin and Belfast to receive open heart surgery.
He calls it a rocket, but I suppose because that's really the theme of the inside of it, he's more content more content. It's not as clinical, which I suppose is a blessing too whenever you spend so much time in hospital. Overall, I suppose he doesn't see it as it's the clinical side of it. It's just it's a form of transport really for him. Puts my mind at ease really. I don't travel with him, his dad travels in the ambulance with him, but for me travelling behind him, it's just my mind's at ease because I know there's so much going on in here for him, and he's comfortable, he's content, and that's really all what you need for them.
The ambulance is run by the Nine-Star Critical Care Team, the unit that transports the sickest babies and children across Northern Ireland.
All through the year we have different kind of aims in our transport, so sometimes we would be transferring children from the Children's Hospital back to their local hospitals if they're from faraway areas, such as Enniskillen or even Antrim, which I know isn't far, but it wouldn't be their local hospital being in Belfast. And sometimes children come up here for specialist treatment, and then they no longer need to be with the specialist doctors, so it means that they can just be closer to home before they're discharged. And we also do the cardiac transfers, so we're part of the All Ireland Congenital Heart Network. So we basically transfer cardiac patients either between the cardiac ward here to Dublin, or once they've had their surgery, transferring them back up to Belfast again for kind of post-operative care. People see ambulances on the road, and it would just kind of be like a white clinical box on the inside, but the whole point of our children's ambulance is that it's kind of got colourful decals. There's kind of like sensory lights inside, just because we wanted to make a way of making these transfers more relaxing and less stressful for the children.
Take off, well done!
For Ruben, who's now doing much better, the ambulance has been a constant source of comfort on his journeys. A vital service, and for children like him, a reassuring support when they need it most. Katie Andrews, UTV Live.
Sport now, and in GAA, inter-county football resumes on Friday with Armagh playing Tyrone in the McKenna Cup. The competition will be marking its 100th year in 2026, and excitement is building as teams look to set down a marker ahead of the new season. Daniel Duffy reports.
After a one-year hiatus, the Dr. McKenna Cup is back. A welcome return for Gaelic fans as their inter-county heroes return to the field in the new year. A good reason to get out of the house after enjoying the festive season.
Our fans haven't had an opportunity to see a ball kicked by their inter-county stars in quite a number of months. And of course the timing just after Christmas and that busy weekend, or not the busy weekend, but I suppose the quiet weekend when Christmas is just over, it gives Gaels everywhere an opportunity to get out of the house and get to a competition. We've structured it in a way that there's a bumper weekend, that fantastic Friday, with Tyrone and Armagh in the athletic grounds.
The pre-season competition is important for younger players who will gain valuable inter-county experience.
I think it was badly missed last year because of the new rules coming in, and I suppose it was probably harder to find opportunities to play games, but I think it's great. It's a great opportunity for new players into the squads to play in front of bigger crowds rather than just sort of challenge games behind closed doors. So no, I think it's great. I think there's a huge appetite in Ulster for it, and it's been seen by the crowds that come out for the game. So no, I think all in all it's a very positive step.
Derry were the last county to lift the cup, and after a difficult 2025, they'll be hoping brighter days lie ahead in 2026.
I think everybody in Derry is probably disappointed with how last year went. So first and foremost, we want to get back to winning ways and develop that habit of winning. But any competition that we enter this year, we'll be putting our best foot forward and trying to win it. So whether that's the McKenna Cup, whether it's Division 2 or whether it's the Ulster Championship, we'll be striving to win that. So it's just about trying to prepare the lads as best we can, get the best players back on the field, and like I said, try to build that habit again of winning matches, which the team unfortunately didn't have the last year.
In ice hockey, the Belfast Giants fell to a 4-3 shootout loss against the Fife Flyers in Scotland last night. The Giants' goals came from Nicholas Gay, Jordan Kawaguchi and Kieran Long.
I think we competed hard enough, and I think we had enough guys going tonight to make sure we got that done in regulation. That's disappointing, but it's not going to slow down here. We got a lot of games coming up, so we're going to have to get a lot better here in a couple of days.
Blair Meehan is well known as one of the founding members of the SAS, inspiring many, including Newtownards man Brian Barnes, to join during World War II. On the 70th anniversary of Meehan's death, Brian's daughter has travelled 8,000 miles from the Falklands to donate her father's medals to a local museum, as Jordan Moore reports.
Hello David, it's nice to finally meet you, David, and to hand over my dad's medals to you for the War Museum. Because
from the Falklands to Newtonards, the handing over of these medals a symbolic act, intrinsically linked to the history of a man whose exploits reached the corners of the world. Zena Barnes' father, Brian, was inspired to join the SAS during the Second World War by Blair Main, and he was by Blair's side on his final journey, carrying the coffin at his funeral. On the 70th anniversary of Main's death, Zena has travelled 8,000 miles from the Falkland Islands to ensure her own father's medals are added to the Blair Main story at this soon-to-open museum in his hometown. Why did you feel the need to come all this way to bring these medals?
I felt that these medals were coming home, and I think it completes the story of Colonel Blair Main, really. And I think that's why they should be here instead of stuffed in a box somewhere in somebody's family home that will probably be sold on somewhere. And I think they need to be where they belong. They belong here in Newtonards.
Main was one of the founding members of the original Special Air Service in 1941, taking part in campaigns mainly in North Africa and Italy. His life ended in a car crash in his native Newtonards, but Zena owes much of her start in this world to the late soldier.
He was a great leader, and the men would follow him literally to the ends of the earth, which my father did. When my father then carried his coffin, he would have heard at the funeral of Blair's Antiques in the Antarctica and Stanley. Less than 18 months later, my father was down in the Falklands and met and married my mother.
A campaign is underway to award Blair Main with a Victoria Cross for his actions in World War II. However, his niece says whether he gets it or not is irrelevant. What matters is that he, along with those who fought alongside him, are remembered for years to come.
It would make no difference to us at all. It's lovely that so much is now gathering together, that Zena has brought the stuff, building this up, not as a main memorial, but a memorial to them all.
The plan is to open the museum to the public in 2026 and ensure the sun never sets on the stories of those within it. Jordan Moore, UTV Live, Newtonards.
The weather now, here's Louise.
After a cold start, temperatures are expected to rise. UTV weather, sponsored by the Grant Arona R290 heat pump.
Hello there. Good evening. After a rather cool and chilly start this morning, we did have some variable amounts of sunshine through the afternoon. Over the next couple of days, it will stay quite cool and chilly. Quite a lot of cloud around coastal areas, but some crisp spells of sunshine developing inland. But by night, we will see temperatures fall away, becoming quite frosty over the next couple of nights. Taking a look at the pressure sequence, high pressure continues to dominate our weather. It will do so through the rest of this week, but we'll see a subtle change as we head towards New Year's Eve, becoming quite cool as we start to draw in a northerly air feed. Tonight, though, it should stay largely dry. Lingering cloud around coastal areas, then temperatures will fall away overnight, with clearing skies allowing a touch of frost to develop. Temperatures falling away in the coldest rural spots, -1, possibly -2 degrees Celsius. So a cool and crisp start tomorrow morning. Frost will lift and clear quite quickly. Into the afternoon, staying largely dry, with plenty of bright and sunny spells developing, variable amounts of cloud here and there, but the winds will stay light and temperatures will struggle to highs of 6 to 8 degrees Celsius. Across the rest of Ireland, it's a very similar story. Cool and crisp spells of sunshine, but across the southwest, more in the way of cloud developing, with a few showers pushing in along coastal areas. Winds staying on the light side and temperatures reaching highs around 7 or 8 degrees Celsius, so in around average for this time of year. As we head towards New Year's Eve, it looks like a largely dry day, but temperatures will fall away. The winds will start to pick up on New Year's Eve night, becoming quite brisk and blustery, especially around the coast. There's a chance of a few wintry showers as we head towards the weekend. Bye-bye.
UTV weather, sponsored by the Grant Arona R290 heat pump.
That's it for now. From all of us here, enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.